turns around and says, I got a sermon, so if you'll excuse me, I'll be heading into the church now. Goes inside the church, and then suddenly you guys feel the presence of 4 different outlaws around you. Right cowboys with guns in their hands. What do you choose to do?
I pull out my gun and I hold it.
I pull out my gun as well and I hold it at the ready.
I pull out my gun and you know what? I'm gonna hold it.
Before they get a chance to attack, I would like to use my silver tongue and be like, look, behind you! Is that Mori Calliope?
I look too! I am so lucky!
They believe you when they say that Mori Calliope is there, but they do not worship Mori Calliope as a god. Like, what in the sky? Who is a Mori Calliope? What is that?
Well, I'm nobody, so I shoot first.
All right, you shoot them.
What
would you like to shoot these fellers with?
I would like to once again use my technique to try to shoot somebody's gun out of their hand.
Okay. All right, you have succeeded in shooting the revolver out of one of these fellers' hands. We'll make that square red, which means they don't have a gun. Oh no, all the squares are red. So that guy doesn't have a gun. Please, so go ahead, Bilbo.
Mori Calliope.
I would like to do a powerful roaring shot at another guy.
You do manage to hit one of them with a powerful shot. Now, that feller that you hit has expended all of their grit in order to not die from your shot. All right, so we're gonna have another one of these fellers fire a shot. Taking advantage of the fact that you're not looking at them, Calliope. This feller does manage to put a bullet in you. However, what you can do is save yourself with 3 grit.
No, I take it.
You take the bullet?
I take the bullet because I'm distracted by God.
All right, you get the condition, can't run, because they shot you in the leg.
I've been shot in the leg! It hurts.
That you do, everything is risky until you heal your dang self.
Bilbo, I don't think Mori Calliope's there.
I'm sorry, I was trying to give us time. I didn't think you were going to look too. I'm sorry.
I'll get you, scoundrel. Which one of it that shot me?
They do seem afraid of you when you say that. The one that had the gun shot out of their hand runs away. And then another one of the fellers, the one that expended all of his grit in order to avoid your shot, pulls out his gun and does a powerful shot. This one is aimed at Bilbo. They succeed in the shot.
I will expand grit if my buddy's down.
All
So
right.
I would rather not get damaged right now.
Okay, sounds good. So we're gonna go ahead and expend 3 grit. There's one last shooter in this rotation, and then you guys get your turns. This person's aiming for the former Mrs. Bones Malone.
No!
All right, they have succeeded in the shot.
I
Take your condition.
expend 3 grit.
Okay, you expend 3 grit. Dasher's turn. Dasher goes, nay! And that's it.
If you're not in the sky, then I know you're right here. I start beating at my chest. You're right here in my heart. I pull out my gun with lots of power, and then I say, well, I shoot and I only aim to kill, so if you don't want to die, then you better book it. And I aim at the one that's down and incapacitated like I'm gonna kill him. Count your breath!
Oh boy.
This is for Mori Calliope!
You delete this man from existence. So in addition to that, when you hit the criminals, one of them loses an arm, and actually both of them lose an arm, and the arms spin through the air like frisbees, and they knock both the former Mrs. Bones Malone and Bilbo Baggins in the face and knock them to the ground, and they both lose 1 grit because of your shot.
That was simply amazing.
I'm blushing. Maybe it is okay. Maybe calamity is fine.
Yeah, next up, go ahead and former Mrs. Bones Malone, what do you choose to do?
Okay, which one shot Jibril?
Bad guy number 2.
Okay, I aim straight for his head, straight between the eyes, with
you
my
blow it up.
precision. I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
All right. You shoot him in the head. Because they only had one grit left, we'll have this one perish. Because you did use precision to aim specifically for a headshot. We'll go
I
ahead and let
told him
die.
I'd kill him.
And now finally there's one feller left, Bilbo Waggins. What do you choose to do?
I take out my knife and I put it in my mouth like those dogs in the video games. And I get on all fours and I charge at the feller. And then I bring my knife mouth to his neck. And then I lift my hat so he can look at my eyes as I slice his neck.
Right, you slash at the criminal's throat, and now that criminal is successfully down and out. Do you choose to shoot him again?
That would seem like overkill. I would like to say a prayer. Well,
Okay, you succeeded.
dear more Calliope in heaven, please deliver this man unto heaven. I hope that his death is peaceful and does not suffer.
It's crazy because all of a sudden, you can actually kind of sense his soul slowly leaving his body. It's like only slightly tethered, and you hear like angels sing, and like you can like see a little halo, and you hear somebody go, "Thank you." You know, he's got his hands in a prayer pose and says, "You may take my life now." All right.
I put my hand over their mouth and I slowly suffocate them so they can be with more Calliope.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
While you're attempting to suffocate the criminal, Mrs. Bones Malone, would you like to do anything? As it is your turn to you just want to shoot him or something.
I just want to watch.
You feel like at the last minute, like while he's running out of air, he goes like, "Wait a minute, actually, never mind," and like kind of struggles a little bit, but then he dies. Well, you've cleared out all of the outlaws. One of them ran away, but for the most part, it seems that they're gone. However, there was a big scene caused by people that are looking at you guys, and you get the feeling it might be wise to skedaddle.
Get all the cash you can, let's go!
Go!
As you guys are exiting, you see a familiar face show up. The sheriff, Old Pink, has arrived with something a little concerning. Go ahead and squint. Who can squint?
All right, I can squint with my squint instinct as well.
Okay. And so you see that the sheriff has returned, and has brought with the sheriff a wagon, but it is empty. Thankfully, it's empty. But you don't know what the sheriff wants to do with that. Sheriff strolls up to your posse, and you realize that there's also the deputy next to the sheriff, a couple other people, and they're looking directly at you, former Mrs. Bones Malone. You are under arrest. You are under arrest for disturbing the peace.
Leave my family alone.
And it would appear that you will also be arrested for aggression against an officer of the law. Cuff him.
The whole town is rotten, inside out.
Nothing
I
can be done about
demand
it.
counsel with the man himself.
Well, it would appear that you will get your wish, regardless of whether you want it or not, because you've been requested by the mayor for special questioning, much like the other outlaws that I delivered to the mayor's house.
Special questioning.
Special.
Everything's coming together now, isn't it?
It would appear so. Everything's coming to a head.
You'll have to take me as well.
Great, we were already going to do that, and they cuff all of you.
We'll get through this together.
I'd like to use my swindle to be like, oh, don't cuff me. It hurts. I don't, it's scary. So that way they may release me from the cuff.
They look at you with pity. Well, we won't cuff you, but we will go ahead and throw you in the cage with the rest of them. And they say, we'll be taking that horse too, and they force Dasher to get into the cage with you guys. Alright, we're heading out of here, and say goodbye to the town you know and love.
The town I know and love is long gone already.
You guys end up making your way out through the Old West, back through the exact route that you guys remember taking. In fact, you passed that same old outpost. That same old outpost that the whiskey wagon went past, and you realize that whiskey present was indeed coming from the manor of the mayor who lives outside of the town. It is a bit troublesome because the law did make sure to take your guns away from you.
Oh
No.
They're on the back of the deputy's horse. They're rolled up together, tied with a very hefty string.
Can I do anything while I'm uncuffed in the wagon?
Anything you'd like to do.
Can I use my knife to try to pick the lock of Lady Post Malone?
So you don't manage to do it, sadly. You did your best, but there's no consequence. And in fact, the law won't even be able to tell that you tried to mess with the lock, so that's good.
Nice. Okay, at least I tried.
It was good that you gave it a shot. You did the best that you could. Well, it's good that your
Yeah.
hands are free, though, because that definitely will keep you, there to help if you can, if they give you a chance to help. Like,
Can I attempt to pick my own lock?
this is gonna be very difficult. It's gonna be hard. Go ahead and do a 2d6, but you're gonna have to get a 6 if you want to unlock the cuffs.
Alright.
I start praying.
Oh, wow. That's lucky.
Whoa!
You uncuff yourself. Very, very quietly, very sneakily, so that the law doesn't realize what you've done.
Now, do we have a plan here? Getting our guns back or anything at all for the matter?
Where are our guns?
They're rolled up on the back of the deputy's horse with a bit of string. Actually, it's pretty hefty string. It'll be tough to untie.
I asked Dasher to talk to that horse.
Well, Dasher does have 3 loyalty. That is true. Go ahead and roll 3d6. Okay, you succeed. What do you tell Dasher?
Dasher, see if you can make those horses find a reason.
Dasher begins neighing at the deputy's horse.
I think it's going well.
I think so.
Quiet down there! Quiet! Who's making all that noise? Dasher kind of nuzzles you with his nose and indicates the guns to you. You get the feeling that Dasher has made a deal with the deputy's horse. You don't know the specifics of the deal. And Dasher says to not worry about things for right now. When the time comes, you guys will be okay. Eventually, you guys roll up at the estate of the mayor. Slowly but surely, the caravan begins to enter the driveway and pull up. Unlocks the cage and says, "All right, get out here, each one of you, and get in a line."
All right.
The sheriff says, "Yeah, we're not gonna be here much longer. Our sole purpose was to deliver you here. Go ahead and let the mayor take things from here." And you see a figure coming out of the manor. First, it's a figure that all of you recognize. "Oh, hello there. Oh, goodness. I figured that I would meet you all again under different circumstances. Well, things could not be the way that I wanted them to be."
Ruby, you must look into your heart. I know you will come to the right decision.
Oh gosh, I just don't know. I love my Bonesy so much.
He could steal that deed right out from under your nose without you having even a
Disgusting.
sniff.
"I'm gonna go somewhere else for some fresh air." And she kind of leaves the scene, but not before. But another figure comes through the door. Stands before you all with his hands behind his back and a slight smile curls along his lips. "It took you quite a long time to get here. But I'm so glad at last to make your acquaintance for the first time in a long time. Especially you, Mrs. Former Mrs. Bones Malone." Gracious me.
Mrs. Calliope to you! You rotten-hearted, pompous, two-timing, cotton-headed, dim-witted, mealy-mouthed, doggone, dastardly, pretentious, good-for-nothing, licentious, salacious, bull-headed, baloney-for-bradesman, new sniffer,
Hit him!
hirsute, panty, thieving, simpering, simpleton, wantonly womanizing, riskless, bitter failure of a mayor, you loathsome scoundrel, Bones Malone!
Disgusting!
Woof!
Goodness gracious me, says Bones Malone, who looks like this, by the way. This is what Bones Malone looks like. What a
I
bunch
always
of-
hated that accent of yours.
Oh yes, I came from such a faraway land to be here amongst all of you savage people.
You do not deserve to be in the
Savage
West.
Oh yes,
As-
the West. What a
As
terrible
the
place.
wind blows, I catch a whiff of his scent. You smell familiar. No! It can't be. It's my father. I'm British. Oh, what's going on with my voice? Oh,
I knew you were a two-timer, Bones Malone. We never had a child together.
what's with my bow? What's this? Oh dear! Stop this! I don't want to be. Help!
Mayor
You
Bones
didn't even have the guts to care for your own child.
You left me for the wolves, Father. Why would you do that? I was raised by dogs, and now I am what? I don't even know what I am anymore.
Bones Malone is extremely confused for a second, and then says, "Oh, by Jove! I do remember you. However, you have one fact wrong in this little play of yours. You see, I'm not your father. In fact, I am your brother." But it was on the boat, on a stormy night, as we were coming to this country, me and my family, and you were to be the sole heir of the fortune of the Malone family. But I could not have that, no. Then I would have lost everything. I would have lost my chance at becoming something important. Someone important in this land of brutal savages. And so, I tossed you from the boat, as you were a babe swaddled in your clothes.
No.
In your baby carriage, and off you floated. On the ocean. I should not have done that. I really should have just talked instead of putting you in the carriage. Dang it, what an idiot I am. Anyway, I tossed you from the boat, but little did I know that carriage carries you all the way to the shore, and it was a shore by a pack of wolves, it would seem. Bones
I'll
Malone
never
seems very
call
smart.
you my Oni-chan.
Well, I won't request that of you anyway, because all of you are about to become my playthings. Yes. If you all...
What does he mean by that?
Follow me. Bones Malone snaps his fingers. Tut. Right this way, I'll show you to your brand new home, he says as he takes a sip from the whiskey. Bones Malone leads you all to a very special area, special to him at least, and says, "Oh, wonderful. We've arrived just in time to see the conclusion of this little fight that was going on. In the center of the room, fighting against one another, are two outlaws." Hush now, we're getting to the good part. And you see that the outlaws have been beating each other with sticks. It actually looks really goofy, the way they're beating each other with sticks. This is my secret little hobby. You see, thanks to the sheriff, I can have my pick of any outlaw that I wish to fight in my wonderful ring, here within the safety of my own home. Would anyone like a drink?
No. Is it a pumpkin spice latte? Oh no! We will not partake.
Not from the likes of your grubby hands.
Oh, fine. That's quite all right. But you will be partaking, you see. You'll be partaking against one another, as a matter of fact. The guards cock their guns, and Bones Malone says, "I'm afraid that you'll have to. You see, this is the savagery of the West that I've come to know my time in this land, and I'd love to see it at full force within my control, in my own home. Yes, it's like having a movie theater. Have you ever seen the pictures? It's like having a movie theater in my own home."
Our movie dates were always awful every time you tried to put your arm around me.
You can say whatever you want, but the thing is, I am in control here. And just like that, as Bones Malone finishes his statement, you hear a crack behind him as one of the outlaws snaps the neck of his opponent, and the opponent lets out a yelp before a thud, hitting the ground, and you see that his head and neck have been twisted in a strange manner that no human being neck should ever have to be twisted in, yes. Well, congratulations to you who have won. I suppose that we can give you your freedom next week. Wait a minute! You promised that you would set me free, that you and the sheriff both promised that if I won this death battle, you'd set me free! Yes, well, you should have read the fine print of the contract. What contract? I demand my freedom! And one of the guards shoots the outlaw in the head. Anyway, who's up first?
I would like to go up to Bones Malone and be like, "Brother, we don't have to do this. Can I just join you instead? I'll be a good little sister. I'll call you Oni-chan.
It's gonna be a hard swindle, though.
No, it's not swindle. I'm gonna use tongue.
Oh, you want to? Okay. All right. So you're gonna tell a lie, and then after 1 minute.
Yes.
All right. You see his gaze soften for just a moment. Well, I always did wonder, perhaps if you were alive out there, maybe we could become close. Once again. Why don't you sit next to me and we watch these two fight each other to the death? Wouldn't that be great?
Okay.
Splendid, right? Oh, excellent. Yes, here, you can sit right next to me.
How long is the minute?
It's been about 15 seconds. Both of you are handed sticks by the guards and instructed to stand on opposite sides of the battlefield. Thankfully, your passing leg condition is healed. Oh, my cute little sister. It's so good to reconnect with you.
I'm so happy right now. It's been 30 seconds, right?
Yes. Okay.
I can't wait to see Mom and Dad fight.
Now, you both have to stand at the opposite end of the battlefield. The battlefield being like just a space on the carpet. Have
I am
sticks
crying.
facing each other.
Don't worry, my dear.
Tears
Don't
do
you
not
cry.
stop. They do not stop.
I turn towards my brother like, brother, I'm done with my appy juice now. Can you take it from me? And as he takes the glass from my hands, I use that moment to take out my knife that I was hiding.
You raise the knife to Bones Malone's throat, and he drops the glass, which shatters on the ground, and you say,
Nobody move! Nobody move! I'm gonna slice his throat open and there'll be his blood all over the ground.
The guards very slowly put their guns on the ground and slide them away from themselves. Bones Malone kind of smirks a little bit as a bead of sweat rolls down his forehead and says, Now, dear sister, I thought that we were just getting to know each other again. What is this? Then a minute passes.
Can I grab for one of the dropped, discarded guns?
Sure you can.
I'm nimble, and I got my boots.
You do have your boots. You succeed in grabbing a gun, but you don't really know how to use it. It's definitely something that you're not used to, this particular gun, so you will take a -1d. Yes.
These were the boots you bought for me.
They look lovely on you, my dear. They look lovely.
Don't you dare compliment me again in that disgusting voice of yours.
Well, you were holding a stick, Jalopy. Big stick. Bilbo has the knife to the throat of her would-be older brother. And the former Mrs. Bones Malone is now holding a gun and a big stick. And all of the guards have their hands kind of like raised, but now they see that you have a gun trained on the mayor. They're kind of scrambling for something to do. Get your hands back on your guns, you fools! What are you doing here?
Dasher, please kick me a gun! Use your loyalty to kick me over a gun!
The Dasher explodes through the window.
Dasher!
And not only
I knew
that,
you would make.
but Dasher has all of your guns.
Dasher!
Yes, and all of your guns fall on the ground and are displayed in front of you. He collapses to the ground. Blood from his body, it begins to seep into the expensive carpet.
Dasher, you were my closest friend. You will not be forgotten. I'll name my child after you. You were the best horse. I kissed Dasher on the nose.
Oh, a single tear rolls down Dasher's face. You hear him neigh for the final time.
Oh,
May we meet again.
He's with more Calliope now.
As you dive for your gun in that moment of grief and sadness, and all of you have your hands on your gun, not so fast! In the entrance of this room, you recognize the Miss Ruby, quote-unquote, Malone,
Ruby? Is that you?
standing there with a shotgun pointed at you. Her hands are shaking, and there are tears in her eyes. Bones Malone is also slowly reaching for a gun.
I'm nobody. I shoot first. Directly headshot for Mr. Bones Malone. Let's do this. Bones Malone, you dirty-hearted scoundrel.
Okay, you succeed. Bones Malone looks down the barrel of your gun from far away. And in that one moment, the snarky look upon the face of this man from a foreign land who came here to the Wild West in order to not only seek his fortune, but tell everybody how much better than them he is. Bones Malone breathes his last breath, and the last thing that he sees is his ex-beloved, the former Mrs. Bones Malone, who sought her own happiness and was able to grasp her own future with her own two hands, not through dirty tricks, not through harming others and making them fight for sport in front of her, but by being kind and being true, and by following her own sense of duty. Maybe not duty. Well, she followed her own mission, which was pretty cool. She shoots her gun, and the last thought that goes through his head besides that bullet is how he kinda wishes that he hadn't passed up such a fine woman. And no thoughts are ever to run through his mind ever again.